They've left without me. Oh dear, I better catch up that night, yeah. Well, it's time for a walk, a dog walk. And the missus, yes, here in France. But while we're doing that, me and the missus, we want to talk about something. We want to talk about teachers. Because crazy amounts of teachers are leaving the profession. And my dear missus, who happens to be there in her little dungarees, well, she used to work in a primary school. Well, things have changed somewhat since she was there. But unfortunately for the profession and those who work in the profession, they've been, well, squeezed, they are. It's too much pressure. That's too much like hard work, I should think. I can't imagine dealing with all those little little scroats. Yeah, and yeah, I've seen them. Little blighters they can be. Would you agree? They can be lovely too. Are you sure about that? What, yeah. Children? Lovely? Never! I really enjoyed it. No wonder there's about 40
I really enjoyed working in school.
Did you really? Rewarding? Mm-hmm. Oh dear, there's something wrong with you. Okay. Well, according to, figures in a survey, yeah, an education survey, Department for Education, yeah. Oh dear. Well, it's found that about 40-odd thousand, 99% of the workforce, well, they left. Yeah, between 2021 and 2022. And a further 4,000 has left since. Retired. It's not helping, you know. So what's happening is a lot of the professions, the spaces have been filled by supply teachers. Mm-hmm. And you got something to say about that, haven't you, about supply teachers? Not because they're not nice or anything like that.
Supply teachers are very nice, yeah. But that really disrupts the class every time a different teacher comes in, because the teachers offer a week, a fortnight, and sometimes you might have a different teacher every day, and that's not very good for small children.
No, it's not. No, I wouldn't like it, no.
And they don't know what they're teaching either.
No, that's a good point, actually. And there's other complications as well, because obviously, you know, you have disruptive children in the class, mm-hmm. and you had some in your school, didn't you? You know, primary. So it's a VC controlled, that's a voluntary controlled school. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit different to a lot of the primary schools and what have you in the UK, in the sense that they could set the limits to how many children per class. In this case, it was 24? 24 children per class, which is a darn sight better than
my little granddaughter, who's got 30 in per class.
Yeah, that's 6 children. That's quite a, that's a lot for a teacher to deal with, and they don't get the help they used to. Now, when Caroline used to work at the school, you used to get a lot of volunteers, didn't you?
Yes.
And now, obviously, because of CBC checks, criminal background checks, obviously with that as well, obviously it's very important. Yeah, there's nutters out there, and there's some strange people. So yeah.
And because of COVID as well, they stopped wanting so many people in the classrooms.
Well, yeah, COVID obviously, and a lot of kids haven't caught up. And like for instance, with our grandchildren and my daughter Yasmin, well, she filled the gap, the educational gap. You know, and also my little granddaughter, little Grace, I told you before, actually, she's about 2 years ahead, is she? 2 years? 2 years ahead she is. She's got a brain, you see, she's like grandpa. No, maybe not.
Even your oldest daughter helped her children through the pandemic.
They did.
And they're doing well.
But not all kids had that support during the pandemic. You know, the teachers tried to do their thing regarding, obviously, distant learning and stuff like that, but that doesn't work with all children.
Well, no.
You know? It requires discipline, you see. Kids got that.
Parents are still working, so children, you know.
Well, yeah, obviously, if they're essential workers and what have you, they'd been in the workplace, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And they've been struggling to get people to look after the children anyway. So they could be left to their own devices in some cases, still with the older children. And there's this gap. There's what you refer to as, like an educational gap between those who got the support in the schools and those kids that did not. So they've all returned to school, and there's a lot of kids that are flying ahead, but then there's a load that have been, they're held back, or in some cases by the parents, really.
Quite large now.
Quite big gap between the.
That's what Yasmin's school was saying.
Yeah, those who have, managed to push forwards with their education, what have you, and those who have not, poor blighters. Yeah. The thing is, the big kids though, is that, for instance, you felt, and I did as well actually, kind of growing up and what have you, I felt that my parents could have done more. Yeah, maybe I could speak properly. Maybe I wouldn't have been a slow starter at school. You know, it kind of clicked with me a bit later on. All of a sudden, I kind of, you know, pushed ahead. And you struggled as well at school, didn't you?
I still do.
And she still does. But
honestly, I do.
well, no, we do. But yes, that's one of the reasons probably we struggled with the French language, what have you, because we didn't have those building blocks really in the early years. No. And you didn't get support, did you?
No.
That's probably a good job, actually. You haven't met my mother-in-law, have you? Talk about Norfolk. Oh my Gideon. You think I'm bad? My God. No, that's not nasty. She's good at digging holes. I'll give you that. Yes. Apart from she cut through my water pipe with a spade. Anyway.
She's lovely, really.
No, she is. Yeah, she's not a bad person at all. I get on alright actually with mother-in-law, to be fair. Don't know why, but I do. Anyway. So teachers in England are apparently abandoning the profession in record numbers, according to official figures, with Labour claiming that incompetent government policies were to blame. To be fair, I think it must be a very difficult thing to try and organise with a pandemic and what have you. And also, we're not getting fresh teachers from abroad like we were. Now, the thing is, what got me a little bit, when I read this after Carol, you shared it with me, didn't you, darling? That got me a little bit, was that when I think about nursing, well, nurses, well, they sort of got their bursary back, but it's sort of cut down version to what they had before. And that hasn't helped them much in getting people into the profession. You know, the training, what have you. It takes years, you see, to people with big brains again, you see. And we are working as nurses, doctors, etc. And the bursaries, they're nothing like they were. I can't remember exactly what the figures were now on that. But the school teachers, they've always had their bursaries. But that hasn't helped either. Because people look at the profession these days and they say, "My giddy, are you think I'm going to teach them little brats? You must be joking." Not all of them, obviously. Some kids are lovely. No. But you can't disagree, Caroline. No, you can't. Some kids are right little brats. They really are. And there's very little discipline in schools these days because, I'll be funny, teachers are very restricted. You can't shout, can you? Can't do anything. You can't be negative. Oh, must be negative. Oh, can't have competition either, can you? No. No competition, no nothing. It's like you can't do anything anymore in the school. Don't be wrong, I'm not talking about corporal punishment. I'm not talking about giving the kids a slipper or the ruler or stuff like that. Or locking them in a cupboard. No, nothing like that. No. But, you know, if a kid's been disruptive, why can't we just put them there? Sort of like, put them in their chair, for instance. I don't know. As long as you're not being, you know, aggressive and horrible and all that, you know, you need a little bit of discipline because that's kind of what we have through life.
Apparently, when my dad was at school, they used to put him on a chair with a duncer's hat on.
You probably ought
to. Big D on the hat.
Yeah, to be fair, they ought to do that now.
And apparently, my uncle was tied to a chair because he wouldn't keep still.
Okay, then what we get going a little bit far now. I don't really think we'll go that far.
They are in their 80s.
They are in their 80s. That's a long time ago. Well, I remember the slipper. Yeah. Mr. Frost, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mr. Frost with the slipper. Size 8 slipper. That was more of a laugh. That was just funny. It was almost like you wore it with pride, not the slipper, but the fact that you just got the slipper. We just wanted to get the slipper. It was hilarious. Yeah, but that's
actually just before I went to secondary school. That's when the cane was stopped. So
are we missing Wally now? Did he go into there? No. Yeah, he's in there. He's in the wheat.
In the wheat. Wally.
He's like Theresa May. Oh, I'd like to run through the wheat field. Oh, there he is. He's come back again. Okay. Well, where were we? Oh, there they are. Oh, there they go. Oh, look. Okay, they want more treats. They do. They do like their treats. That they do. So I do think, I talked about obviously being a little bit overly politically correct in the sense of so-called wokeism, which has gone a little bit silly. And I think it's a bit of. I have said that I think it's a bit of a problem, but we do need some control in schools. You know, I'm not saying aggressive. Obviously not. But if you've got to raise your voice, you've got to raise your flipping voice. Why was that a problem? When you go, so this kids, oh, you scared my child. You did. The parents are the worst, by the way. Oh, you scared my child. Yeah. Oh, they're petrified and they don't want to go to school now because you told them off. Well, the thing is, though, you see, when you go through life, you have to get taught all this stuff anyway, because otherwise you're going to be, well, you're going to have a boss, aren't you?
I feel
No,
a bit like I feel a bit like that with competition. Like if there's no competition within the school, then life is competition.
It is. You go through, yeah, it's a constant competition.
If they don't get taught that when they're in school, how are they going to
It gives you all sorts of
handle it as adults?
Well, it isn't just that, is it? It's that if competition brings people to, oh, what's the phrase? What's the word? There's a desire to do well. Do you know what I mean? Because you want to better yourself. It's a bit like me on YouTube. You see, I look at other people's channels. So, how come they're doing better than me? Then I'll cry in the corner somewhere, wouldn't I, darling?
Probably.
Oh my God! Look at the bank bands. Oh my God, they aren't, and I'll cry again. But you know, in the end of the day, we need drive in people. I think to, to have a future as a society.
I think all children are good at something.
Of course they are.
To find what the something is.
Some kids are better than others at being naughty.
I don't think children are generally naughty. They're just.
You're kidding me, aren't you? Crikey. Are you being politically correct again?
Yeah.
I think you are. You're too soft. Get out your size, whatever it is, size 4 slipper.
3.5.
3.5. Your size 3.5 slipper. She's got tiny hands as well, ain't she, darling? She's like Donald Trump. Yeah.
I haven't got lots of documents, though.
You got no, you haven't. Yeah, with a photocopy
No.
stuck beside them all. No. Also, you can sell all the state secrets.
I haven't got any secrets.
Well, I heard today that if he gets he should get as much as 20 years. and his his lawyers are all they've resigned. They stepped down. Two of his lawyers decided I want them to do with this. Oh yeah, we're talking about skills anyway. I sidetracked with it, didn't I? We're talking about documents. I'm talking about documents. It was made of paper, you see, and the schools haven't got enough paper. See, I did it. I brought it back in. I did. Yeah. So do we need to go into the figures on this or not? Do you think so? We know the 40-odd thousand teachers have resigned, and the unions are blaming poor working conditions and wages, because basically their wages have been shrunk because of austerity. That's not helped.
There's a lot of paperwork involved in teaching.
Oh yes, and Ofsted.
People think it's just teaching, but Ofsted's
crikey.
Ofsted's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, that. From the horse's mouth out, she said, Ofsted is a load of rubbish. Oh dear. But doesn't that give you an idea, a guide, to see what way the school is what direction it's got?
You could do that on facts and figures, really. You don't need someone to come into school for a week.
I suppose that's intimidating, isn't it?
And be intimidating and talk to people and everyone be on the 100% best behaviour, and things would run differently than what they normally would have been run. Because I bet a lot of schools are like that.
But also, you also have teachers that are a little bit more out there. A bit more way out there. Like, for instance, what's her name again? Your favourite teacher at school?
Oh yeah.
What's her name again?
Mari.
Mari. It's a Mari.
I
suppose. Sorry, I'll go to her then. You're going a bit far, are we done? Treat time. Come on, Dora, treat time. Don't miss out, my girl.
Oh no, she was a lovely teacher. The children loved her.
Yeah, but she was a bit of a hippie. She was a bit hippie. She was lovely, though, wasn't she? We got our Z bed from her, didn't we?
Yeah. No, she's lovely. She's really a lovely teacher. I really enjoyed working that year with her.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, those sort of teachers don't necessarily shine in an Ofsted.
Probably not.
No. So, because it's not like they're not kind of towing the so-called line.
It's very false. It's
all false.
Yeah. It's like judging a school on SATs as well, because some children work really well with exams and some children don't.
Yeah, but also you've got to remember that's kind of how we go through life again, because life is one great big exam, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
If you go for job interviews and stuff like that, you got to be tough. Yeah. Optimistic and all that.
Yeah, my eldest granddaughter's doing her GCSEs at the moment.
Yeah. So it's a problem, isn't it? Yeah. It's a massive problem, because without enough teachers, the kids don't get enough support or the education that they need or deserve. Some kids don't, but yeah, let's not go into that. Well, you've got naughty child syndrome as well, haven't you, Caroline? What about that one? What about naughty child syndrome?
Oh, and also special needs for gifted children
Ooh,
stopped
that's a
about
good point.
13 years ago.
So special needs, so you have to do some kind of report on that first, like a statement or something.
Yeah, there'd be a statement, and they'd say, "Oh, this child is so far ahead, and they need extra help." Because they're ahead, so they would get extra time.
But do you feel at the moment that some kids, because they are clever, like my little granddaughter, my little Grace, doing very well. Actually, so is Toshi.
Yeah.
Little Grace is doing very, very well, and she's like 2 years ahead.
Yeah, but she's really bored at school.
She's bored at school because she's not getting the extra attention that she needs because her brain's too big.
Because when I was
she's not a Tory, does she know?
She would have extra help within the school.
She loves science, doesn't she? She loves science. Yeah. So obviously, see, science. She's obviously not a Tory. She can't be a Tory because she believes in science, you see. And science is based on facts and mathematics and stuff like that, you see. And if you're a Tory, you'd be like somebody like, oh no, what's his name again? Yeah. Cokehead Gove, that one, you see. He said, don't listen to the experts. We're bored of the experts. Yeah, the experts basically work on the basis of science. So you're talking about Tories, they're all evangelical types of people, you see. They just, they believe on... Yeah, talk about education. Yeah, I'm kind of gone off track again. Crazy people.
Yeah.
Crazy evangelicals.
They had to be educated at some point.
Well, they obviously something seriously went wrong, or they in the education. Well, you're talking about eating.
Most of them was private education.
Well, I know, but they're like Etonians, aren't they? All from Eton College and all that, whatever it's called.
They're doing something wrong too, then.
I reckon they're all been abused. That's what they are. Yeah, that's what I think. I think everyone at Eton College has been abused. I'll be a bit surprised. What way are they going over there?
You can't say people at college have been abused.
No, Eton College, only Eton College, not colleges in general. I went to college.
You can't say things like that.
No. But Caroline, I think it is true. I think I was abused. And normally there's sheep in this field. Oh, there is. There's sheep over there in the distance. You see little tiny little white dots in the distance. Yeah. And that's a cherry tree behind me. Oh, I see a cherry. Oh, why haven't you picked them all? There's cherries. I found a cherry. A wild cherry. Oh, it's ripe. Wow. Put a cherry on the cake. Mm. Oh, yeah. Pop the fact of just clean my teeth.
Sour.
Just clean my teeth. Mm. Cleaning your teeth and eating cherries don't go together. Oh. But the cherry itself, I can tell. It's a very nice cherry apart from toothpaste.
Toothpaste and cherry.
Oh, yeah, I can see the sheep then. Mouton. Someone was saying, Caroline, in the chat, they'd like us to do a video, like just a strolling kind of yappy type video, sort of relaxing. Can you imagine me being relaxing, Caroline?
No.
I can't. I'm not that relaxing. Am I relaxing?
No, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think so either. To be fair.
No. Am I?
You're relaxing. No, you don't keep still. She doesn't. This one here, she doesn't keep still. She's got ants in her pants or something. It's before me, isn't you, darling?
Yeah.
Hope not, because you're allergic to the formula.
I sit I'm still on the bed. I'm still on
Oh yeah, when you're asleep, you just lay there like, I don't know, kind of weird really, because your mouth is wide open, all the flies are getting in and out. It's quite horrible really, isn't it?
Do you know what you look like when you're asleep?
Yeah, handsome. I don't snore. No, not at all.
No, of course you don't.
Well, have we covered that topic now, do you think? About schools.
Yeah, I think
so basically, teachers aren't, they're not enjoying themselves, they had enough.
Well, I think that they're probably...
And they're on strike as well, don't forget that.
They're probably overworked,
definitely.
underpaid.
Yeah.
Too many children in class, and that's not what they actually.
Well, they haven't. Well, they just want the pay to be brought back to how it was.
Well,
just like the doctors, the junior doctors' pay.
Well, even my son, he's civil servant.
Yeah, he's a civil servant, but they all are. Yeah.
And he's saying.
Is he part of the blob? Is he part of the blob?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is the last 10 years that he's been working.
Yeah, works in the.
Where he's been working.
He's a historian.
He's had no pay rise. It's never
His pay's never risen. That's austerity for you. That's what people are whinging about now because, you know, basically they're living off the same amount of money they had when they first started the job.
Yeah.
He's been there a while now, hasn't he?
10 or 11 years.
Oh, get it on! Crikey, don't time fly, I feel so old. Oh, they're all wrinkly, I do.
So I think they might be on strike later in this year.
Strike?
Strike.
Yeah.
They're going on strike later in the year as well. And
Blimey.
my daughter-in-law, who works for social services, I think.
Well, she's still working from home.
Yeah, she's still working from home.
Yeah.
They
So
closed the office.
she's a part of the blob as well, isn't she? Civil servant.
Yeah, she's a civil servant.
She's not in Whitehall, though.
No. She just books courses and things for.
Oh, okay, so she's not really a part of the blob, is she?
No.
So-called. What's that about? Stupid people. Blob. Jacob Rees-Mogg, you got a screw loose. You really have.
Oh no, her daughter's now going to be a prison.
Oh yeah, Karina. She's gonna. You know, you've all met Karina. She's gonna be a prison warden. She is because she like whips and stuff. Is that what they do there? No, it's not that sort of prison.
No.
Oh God, it's not the one I go to then. Hello, Dora. Oh, my baby girl. Well, I think we covered that, haven't we, Dan?
I think we have.
And we're kind of waffling now. I'm just chatting, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's quite nice chatting, to be fair. Makes a change from all the madness. We've been tripping over here. There's a little Wally down there. No, there he is. Look. There he is. He's hungry. Oh dear. Poor little Wally. He's all hungry. Anyway, so what I'm going to say, because there's a 21-minute video.
Oh, okay.
I think
then.
That's not... People will be whinging at us. Oh, your videos are getting too long again.
You need to like and subscribe.
Oh, they like it. Yeah, don't forget that. Like and subscribe. And what else? A little...
Buzzy feeling?
No, the little bell icon. So you get a warm,
fuzzy
feeling inside or in the pocket. Well, buzzy, that'd be buzzy in the pocket, wouldn't it? I suppose.
Every time I upload a video.
Another video, yeah. And you can also use that as a way, if you do subscribe, you do the bell icon, you can always use that also as a way to avoid us if you really want to. Yeah. And please like. And if you don't want to like, you know, press the unlike button, but do it twice. It don't work otherwise, you see. Yeah. Do you think that's it now?
Yeah, au revoir.
Au revoir, yeah. Should could bring another topic into it, couldn't we? No.
Au revoir.
No. Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Swan. What are they sniffing over there? They're coming back now. Don't go vote us. We don't know our way back. The house is just over there, guys. It's just over there.
Every time you stop, they think they're getting.
They do, but they're not. Well, anyway, it's time for us to go. So we'll say ta-ta, you know, and this has already said bonsoir, so there you go. So it's time to go. Would you say it's time to go, or should we carry on? I do. Oh, the excitement of it all. Oh.
Bored.
No, probably. But it's going on in the morning, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning, you see, and they can, I don't know, watch it over a cup of coffee, maybe. And
the cereal.
My kids, they're not getting educated. No. Or the teachers are running away, or maybe they might say, oh, I think I better get back into teaching. You don't know, do you? Okay, you can do your bit, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to say ta-ta, you know, so ta-ta. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Carry on.
No.